Don't talk about it like you're crazy. You know damn well I can't replace you. Just say what you mean. Don't waste your time.
Hey everybody, so I know you guys have heard about the story that's been going around for the past week or two, Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Okay.
Well, actually, he was hitting that reset button. That's what he was doing, the reset button.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that. Everyone can't get enough of it. I can't get enough of the story and just digging deep into it and their story, and that's what we wanted to do with you guys today. And hey, hit that like and subscribe button. We're gonna have a good conversation right now, so let's get into it. Okay, so my first reaction to it.
To what? Let me put it up there. To the slap. There we go. To the slap. Y'all see it up there. Let me take it down.
Oh my gosh, it just hurts my soul, honestly, seeing it. I know everyone's laughing about it, making memes and stuff, but that really hurt my heart once I found out that it really happened. But initially, I thought it might have been fake because I could never imagine Will Smith doing anything like that in real life. And then when I found out it really happened, I was really shocked and hurt.
Well, I had to do a couple Google searches. She was asking, like, did you see it? I was like, what are you talking about? And when I saw it, it didn't look real. Will's form was like perfect, like textbook slap your mama type perfect. But when he was still like yelling at his seat, I was like, I think this is real. When Chris Rock was saying the joke wasn't that bad, and I saw Jada, I was okay, this is really is what it is right now. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is real. How I felt about it. Now, when Will got up there and he actually slapped him, I felt that he was justified in it. At least for me being a male, I didn't have time to process it like the way everybody else did. They were like, oh, he's just wrong. And I was just like, well, for me, I can't think of a guy out there who, if someone says something to disrespect your female in front of you, that you wouldn't do something. I understand he's a public figure, but he's still human.
I had mixed feelings, mixed emotions about it. Part of me did feel like he was justified because he was defending his wife. But then at the same time, I didn't think that the joke was really that bad. He didn't call her out of her name. He didn't blatantly disrespect her. Honestly, I had to rewind the clip to see what did Chris Rock say after the slap and Will Smith coming up there and slapping him. I had to go back. What did he say? Because that was shocking to me. So that's why it made me think it was way deeper than that.
I didn't know Jada had alopecia. I didn't know.
Either.
I just thought she was on a power trip as far as cutting her hair. You know, that's I've heard of the big chop. You know, I know people who've done that. They cut their hair off and it gets tangled up. Yeah, you just cut your hair
I've
off.
shaved my head bald about 2 or 3 times in my life. So I've done it. I've gone short and everything. And a lot of women, they do that. We do that when there's change or anything going on in our life. And we don't know. Jada, it seems she likes a lot of attention. So I didn't know what it was. Her face has been changing, her hair, everything. So you just never know with these celebrities.
And I mean, another fact, and I'm not bringing them into this conversation, but look at the kids and the way they dress. And, you know, I didn't think anything of it. And I was also thinking, well, if you're going to sit front and center and you care about, you know, your hair condition, why didn't you wear a wig? I don't really understand it because women have hair and then they cover it. And from my understanding, they wear wigs to protect their hair. But I'm like, if you knew you were going to a place with a comedian and you're sitting that close, why not put on a wig, something that looks nice? Like, she shouldn't have been offended by that.
And I think it's because she was just trying to put on this image. I saw a post where I guess she was on her Instagram or whatever. She's talking about her alopecia, and she was just saying how she embraces it, she accepts it, she loves it, it's a part of who she is. So that's why she was rocking the bald look in the first place. So if you're saying that, you're putting that image out and that message out, why are you rolling your eyes and all of this stuff when Chris Rock makes a comment about it? If you're so strong and nothing can hurt you and you're embracing this, it's okay. You can put a wig on. It's 2022. We got lace fronts. We got all type of stuff for you, girl. That's going to look like it's going straight out from your scalp, okay? There were people saying, okay, Chris Rock went off script. Yes, he's known for doing that. He's admitted that. A lot of times he just goes off script.
Please let me discuss this. For some of y'all who don't know, when you're doing the Oscars and you're doing any type of comedy, you have to submit all of your jokes, because when you're backstage or when they're hiring you as a comedian, they tell you the things that you can't talk about, right? So Chris Rock, because he's a known comedian, didn't really submit any of his like jokes to them. He kind of gave an outline, and these jokes are usually on a teleprompter. The thing that I found really weird about the situation was Chris Rock didn't even get to any of his jokes. Like, he started off, he went off script and he said something that he didn't even submit. And then Will Smith went off script and he got up, he got out of his seat. They don't even allow you to have an empty seat in the Oscars. They have fillers for that. If you need to go there, put somebody in your seat. So he got out of place, he got out of script, he got on the stage, and both of these men are operating as individuals now. And no one believed or knew that Will Smith was going to go up there and karate slap this dude and walk off like Frank Lucas. The guy even fixed his jacket as he smirked and walked off. And I'm going to tell you why Jada pulled that stunt and said that she didn't need her man to defend her. I think the only reason that she said that is because she has a show also. And she didn't want to ruin her show by sitting here saying or agreeing to or basically backing up his actions. I don't think she wanted to do that, because then she would have people looking at her and maybe issues with her show, her Red Table Talk, which I don't know who's watching that. But yeah.
No, I agree 100%. I do.
So let's get into the real issue as to why this may be going down. The August Alsina situation. And I'm just finding out, because I don't follow celebrities' lifestyles or anything like that. But since it's public now, I've been researching. I'm starting to figure out what all these things are about. I'm actually going to play 2 small clips real quick, and then I'll come back after you guys see the clips.
That we were going to separate for a period of time and you go figure out how to make yourself happy.
I was in a lot of pain and I was very broken.
Nobody knows but you. You can't get advice on what you should do with your life, right? Nobody knows what you are. Like even sometimes you don't really even know what you are. You got to take your shot. You got to do it alone. It's a lonely, scary, dangerous pursuit, and you got to be willing to risk everything to become that seed of what you believe is in there. You got to be fearless. You got to be relentless.
He said it right there for you guys, right there. What I don't get, Jada is 50 years old, and she is still sitting around here talking about, I'm broken. I need healing. At your age, woman, you need to be spreading wisdom and knowledge and growth. I don't buy it. I simply don't buy it. You have a man as motivational and inspirational, a husband, someone who provides for you, and who has made himself the most successful actress that he could possibly be for you, to provide for you and y'all's children. Okay? And you sitting up here talking about you broken. I don't buy it at all. And just as you guys just heard Will Smith say in that clip, nobody can make you happy but you. Only you know what is inside of you. Only you know that. And I believe that Jada, honestly, this whole broken stuff, this whole bringing up the past, woe is me, and all of that, I'm not buying it. I think that is a tactic that she uses to manipulate Will. She knows that Will, he's always motivational. He's always lifting people up. He's a giver. He just wants to give. He wants to make people happy.
He gave Chris Rock a slap. But yeah, he gave it to him. Oh, Oh, but I gotta cut you off because I want to say what I want to say. No, on a serious tip though, as a guy, right? As a guy, it takes a big man to sit here and one stomach the fact that everything you've done, from throwing her birthday, from the lifestyle that you provide, everything that you're doing, right? Nothing makes this woman happy. It takes a big man to tell them to, okay, well, why don't you go over here and find what makes you happy? And if you look at what Will was saying, he said it's a very lonely journey. Okay. But instead of her going to be happy or find her happiness, she turned to a younger guy that's just as broken as she is. Literally. She picked a guy that was a friend of her son's. And that means Jada didn't take any time to work on herself. Literally.
Thank you.
She
Thank
didn't
you.
even do anything. She just went out, and she had a hard time even saying it was a relationship. She called it an entanglement. I don't know if anybody looked at how Will looked at her. He says, it's a relationship. And she was like, yeah. And, I just don't agree with it. At the end of the day, I feel like, when you see men, when they can't please their women, and we're really, really trying to do so, you may see guys that punch walls. You see guys that get in their cars and do stupid things. That's because we really don't know how to fix the situation, because we really just want peace. I don't know a guy around me that wants to argue all the time. We want peace, literally. So that slap, I think, just came from frustration. He survived the August Alsina public humiliation. He survived that. And I think Chris, as his friend, at the end of the day, that's why I call it a reset. It was a reset because he couldn't take it anymore. These people are human. You're celebrities and you're not even allowed to respond. Right? And that's a typical guy. It's a typical guy. That's the way the world kind of treats us. We're not supposed to have feelings. We're supposed to walk away. We're supposed to this. We're supposed to that. But these people are human. So at the end of the day, that slap came out of frustration. And he relieved himself, which is probably why that smirk happened. And Jada actually, she smiled about it. She won't say it, but she smiled after
She
Will
laughed.
said it.
She
laughed.
Like,
Tupac wouldn't have done that.
Everything.
Tupac wouldn't have done that because he was business savvy. Will can do that because of his status. And what I mean by that is I don't think if they banned him from making movies, it's going to hurt him. I mean, Will can... He's acquired success. He has a ton of money, literally. And I feel like one of the problems right now is that he's with a woman who's competing with him. I think the only thing that would make Jada happy is if she had more success than Will, literally. So I'm not an advocate to tell people to break up their relationships and things like that. I think Will is going about it the best way he can. He's living her happiness up to her, and she's not even working on herself.
Right.
She's putting their business out for like popularity gains on Red Table Talk. That's what she's doing. Putting their business out there.
How is that healing? You say that your whole purpose is for healing, but all you've done is destroy your family and almost destroy your husband. And honestly, I fear for Will. I'm concerned about him and his mental state because he clearly doesn't have any support. First statement Jada put out was about her. How she doesn't need protecting and, putting out this image, she's a strong black woman, the usual nonsense. And you could have said anything. And that's what you chose to do. Your husband had to go straight to rehab after the Oscars. Everything's on the line.
He went to Dubai. Let me say that. He went to Dubai. But I also want to mention that even Jaden made a comment after Will did it, supporting his dad. Basically saying that's how we roll. And I'm thinking about, as I'm being raised as a son by my mother, they always say, protect your sisters. Don't let anybody do anything to them. And it's the same thing with a son. So if anyone would have said that to said anything that would have offended his mother, even if Jaden didn't see anything wrong with it, if his mother is offended by it, he'll respond. That's just men. That's just how we are. I can't see somebody disrespecting somebody I'm with and me just walking off. And then, I mean, how would she view me after that? Because everybody's talking about this whole Tupac thing, but Tupac was business. He would have never done that at the Oscars. Now he might have checked you backstage, but he wasn't gonna just walk up there and do what Will Smith did.
Yeah, it's like
I don't see it.
Think of it as like you're in church. That's a serious event. It's live for the whole world to see, and you're just gonna get up and react like that. I feel like that's a cry out for help. And I don't think it's because he's a simp, which is another conversation we need to have. People are just calling Will a simp and, you know, this and that, and I don't buy it. You know, I don't think that he's a simp and that's why he did it. I think that I think it's a cry out for help, to be honest.
I also think people don't. What you guys are witnessing is what we call unconditional love. That's what's really going on. When this man has accepted all of the things that this woman has done to him, and he's standing by his vows. He's trying to fix his marriage. He realized that he's in over his head to where he's like, yo, you need to work that out. Because Will still has projects that he's doing. You work that out, because obviously everything I'm doing, I throw you a party, you say it's an egotistical thing, and no matter what I do, you're never happy. So you work it out. Will loves his wife, and that's unconditional love.
He accepts her.
He accepts her.
And that is what she's taking advantage of. I think that Will just needs to put his foot down and demand better from her and to stop coddling her. I do believe that he's a very empathetic person. He wants to help people. He wants to offer healing. I think that was one of his goals he set for many years, just to help people, to help lives, help change people's lives, help them reach their goals and their happiness. That's what he wanted to do. And of course, first and foremost, that's going to go to Jada. You know, she's his wife. That's his top priority. You know, but it's just like you're beating a dead horse. At some point, you got to stop coddling this woman and tell her that she can stand up on her own 2 feet, and she needs to stop making all these excuses. You can use all the excuses in the world, honey, but guess what? You can make it. You can stand strong on your own 2 feet. And that's all that Will's been trying to preach. And she just got to let that go. She has to let go of her past and all of this bull crap. And just be happy. She has the world. They got money. They got anything and everything, all the resources they can ever ask for. Why are you still unhappy?
To the woman who has everything, she's still not happy. Still not happy. Got a high value man. High value.
Shout out
man.
to Kevin Samuels.
Shout out to Kevin Samuels for a high value man. And she's still not happy.
Hold on, real quick. Because I was listening to the radio today, and no, this morning, and they was talking about Cam Newton made a comment about these boss baby chicks, women, the modern woman today, and he was saying how, y'all these boss chicks, y'all call each other boss chicks and boss babes, but you can't cook. But you expect me to do something for you, but you can't even cook. You don't even have a cookbook. And they were talking about that on the radio as a talking point, but I was just sitting there thinking like, man, why nobody say thank you, Kevin Samuels? Y'all sitting there acting like y'all ain't watching Kevin Samuels on YouTube, and y'all just gonna go on the radio and just bring up these talking points and not even shout the man out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But anyways, that's neither here nor there. He come on, nobody was talking about high value men or none of this until Kevin Samuels came out. I just wanted to say that. But shout out to Kevin Samuels for that. Yes, Will Smith is definitely a high value man. Absolutely, he is. I just feel like the way he sees himself and the man that he envisioned himself to become, I think it's a beautiful thing. He's a protector. He's a provider. He works hard. There's nothing that's not masculine about him, except that he's a little passive aggressive and he's a little bit of a pushover when it comes to Jada.
He's a lover. There's
He's a
nothing
lover,
wrong
but that
with that.
doesn't mean that he's a simp. That doesn't mean that he's a coward or anything like that. It doesn't mean that. It just means that he's a man in love.
He's a
and
lover.
he stands by what he means.
Lover.
He stands by his word. You know, he took his vows seriously. He wants to be there with her through better or through worse, through sickness and through health. And that's what he's doing. He's going through all of these demons with her. And he's suffering for it. So I don't think that we should discredit him at all. We shouldn't put him down because these are beautiful qualities that men have. It takes a real strong person to have the strength and power of a man, but be able to still be gentle and kind with the people that he loves. So I feel like Will Smith does definitely hold a lot of his anger and masculinity back, a lot of his feelings back for the sake of other people. You know, he's one of those people that he'll let you step over him. He'll let you hurt him as long as you're happy. Because he feels like, hey, I could take it. I'm a man. I'm going to bust my ass no matter what. No matter what I got to go through. That's what he preached. You know, if you watch any of his videos, that's all Will Smith talks about. That's who he is. You know, and I believe him. You know that saying, you squeeze an apple, all you're going to get out of it is apple juice. You squeeze an orange, only orange juice is going to come out of it. That's what you get from Will.
Right. That would be like you can only give what you have. So if you don't know how to be happy, you can't make someone happy. And I think it's crazy to look to someone to provide happiness to you. That's crazy.
That's insane.
I can make you laugh. We can have fun. But I can't be the source of your happiness. That's crazy.
While she's sitting there selfishly only thinking about herself and only thinking about her pain and what people can do for her, she's forgetting about the most important thing, and that is her life partner. He's sitting there looking at you clearly with pain and hurt in his eyes.
Confused. Don't know what to do.
And it hadn't even occurred to you, I bet, not once. Well, what can I do to make him happy? Maybe if you do something for someone else other than yourself with no strings attached, maybe then you'll be able to find that happiness, what it feels like to be selfless and to truly love unconditionally. Because if you're a person that's constantly taking, only worrying about yourself, your wants, your needs, what people need to do for you, and oh, you should have did that, and no, you should have, no, I would have done it this way. If you're sitting there criticizing people, nothing's good enough for you ever, you need to look at yourself. You need to look at the mirror. You need to reframe something.
Well, I'm going to say this, and I'm saying this directly to Jada. Either step up or step aside. Don't ruin this man's life.
Move around.
Move around. There's a woman out there right now that would love everything that this man offers. All of his non-thug characteristics.
His goofiness.
His
corny jokes.
Would love all of that. If that doesn't fit for you, and you want somebody more like Tupac or some thug guy, or whatever the situation is, then go find him. And literally, just let it go and go find him. Let him go.
Let him be happy.
Since he won't leave you, you leave him.
And speaking of wanting a thug, we got Kodak Black.
Crunch it Black.
Kodak Black.
For some of y'all who don't know, for some of y'all who don't know what it is, that's the man right here, man.
Rapper Kodak Black, you know. Speaking of that, he did make a comment, which I agree with. You know, he said, hey, Jada, you don't deserve Will Smith. You deserve a like me, a like Kodak. And you know what? I think he has a point. That's probably the smartest thing I've heard him say in the past, like, 3 years. For someone to be so selfish, and you don't deserve somebody like Will. Maybe you gotta go through some things. Maybe being with somebody like Kodak will help you realize that not everything is so sweet on the other side. You craving that thug life and thinking about Tupac and all of that stuff. If Will was a thug and living all that, he probably wouldn't be alive today. We have hundreds of rappers dying every year, and the numbers are only increasing with each year.
Well, here's a good question. If she's into those type of men, then why did she go after August. He's not.
August is from the street. He's from Louisiana.
Yeah, but he's not.
Just like Kodak.
I don't think he's a thug.
No, he was on them streets. You could hear it in his music. He talks about it when he was doing.
I know he was homeless. I know he was
streets.
homeless at one point. I believe he said something about that.
He grew up in the hood. He's a hood dude. He ain't grow up. What you think? He grew up in the suburbs or something?
Man, August.
He had no money. He was struggling like everybody else.
August wouldn't have slapped Chris Rock. So
No, he wouldn't have.
No, he wouldn't have done that.
That's what I'm saying. What Will Smith did, it was a cry out for help. You know, this is a man that's been pushed to his limit, and you got to think about it. He's extremely strong to have endured this type of abuse for this long, and all he did was slap somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I want to ask all the viewers, just leave in the comments below if someone disrespected you or you felt offended, especially the women. Would you be okay with your man just not saying anything? Like, would you be okay with that? Like, seriously. Would you look at him any differently if someone disrespected you and he said nothing?
In a public
setting. Public place.
Where everybody's around. Think of it. You may not be at the Oscars, but think you at church. Think of it as church. Should your man act like that in church? In front of all these people, respectable people trying to come?
Yeah, let me know. Just let me know if you would have an issue with that. Or would you feel like, okay, well, he's just protecting me. And protecting you is not always physical. It's also your image, the thoughts that people have of you. It's just not always physical. You know, he's protecting everything about you. So he's not going to let somebody disrespect him. Now, I don't know if you would let if you're a female, if you would let another female disrespect your man. You know, for us, it's not that big of a deal. We'll probably pull you away and be like, it's not that serious.
Yeah, but what would you guys do? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that was appropriate? Are you guys empathetic with Will Smith like some people are? Do you guys think it has everything to do with Jada? What is your opinion on this? There's so many people talking about this, and we just want to be a part of the conversation with you guys. So let us know.
If you have any ideas or any questions or any comments, we will respond to them. Leave them down below. Appreciate you for taking out your time and watching this show. I'm Bobby.
I'm Maya. We out.
We out.
Goodbye.
Say what you mean, say what you mean. And you'll get what you need, get what you need. What I do is try to give you more than words. When I say I quit, it's only cause it hurts. We got places we can go to figure out what we've done.